Okay, here comes another interesting question. What if I gave you a graph that looks like this, but then instead of saying give me the equation in vertex form, I'm going to tell you I want it now in standard form. What is standard form? Standard form, remember, is y equals to ax squared plus bx plus, yep, c. Uh-oh. Now we're having some problems, aren't we? Well, not really. First things first, go back to your vertex form. You know how to do vertex form, so stick with it. You know that this guy over here is going to be your p-value. There's your q-value, so there's your vertex. You know that this point is an x, y. So stick to what you learned before. Keep going. Okay, watch. You know that this is y equals to ax minus p squared plus q. Start putting the values in. Y is 4. A you don't know. X is 2 minus p. P again is a minus 3. So minus 3 in brackets. That's all squared plus a negative 5. Okay, so now start cleaning it up. All right, here we go. 4 equals to a 2 minus a minus 3 is 2 plus 3. So 2 plus 3 is 5, and you're going to have to square that. Minus 5 here. Okay, clean it up some more. Add 5 to both sides. There it is. Boom, that's gone, leaving you 4 and 5 gives you 9. Okay, is 5 squared is 25a. Perfect, awesome. Divide each side by 25. Divide each side by 25, you in fact have a equals to 9 over 25. There's your a value, okay? So that looks challenging, but you know what? It's not going to be so bad. Here we go. Y equals to 9 over 25, x minus p, which of course is, well, minus 3. So x minus a minus 3, which we know here, right? From your vertex. That's got to all be squared. Minus 5, okay? Now, let's go and start cleaning this up a little bit. Y equals to 9 over 25. X minus minus makes it a plus 3. Squared minus 5. There's your vertex form. Now, you've got to convert this into standard form. Okay, how do you do that? Well, don't forget your bed mass. Bed mass becomes like so important, right? Because bed mass says you do your brackets and exponents first. And lo and behold, what do you have right here? You have an x plus 3 squared. But remember, here's where a lot of students make a mistake. Well, isn't that just x squared plus 9? No, it's not. It's the whole thing squared. So it's x plus 3 times x plus 3. And you have to FOIL this. So you're going to have x squared. You're going to have plus 3x. You're going to have plus another 3x plus 9. And you can clean that up a little bit by just going here and saying, okay, this is x squared plus 6x plus 9. But don't forget all the other stuff that was with this. You had a 9 over 25 on the outside here first, and you had this minus 5 over here. So again, like BEDMAS says, you have to do what's in the brackets first. And this is where it becomes incredibly challenging now because you're going to be dealing with fractions. So here we go. 9 over 25. I can get rid of that, and I'm going to show you how to get rid of that sometime in the future. But for this particular podcast, I'm just going to keep going with it. Okay, here we go. So this gives you distributed, gets you a 9 over 25 x squared plus, look at that, 6 times 9, so 9 times 6 over 25 x plus, look at this, right, distributed to that, 9 times 9, right, over 25 minus 5 is still there. So that minus 5 just tails in at the end there. Notice how this a value has not changed, and it will not change, and I'm going to prove that to you in a second. Let's start simplifying this. 9 over 25 x squared plus 9 times 6 is 54 over 25 x plus 9 times 9 is 81 over 25 minus 5. you got this ugly fraction that you have to deal with right away. So let's going to do this over here. Let's go do this right over here. Okay, minus 5. Now remember, every number in the world is a fraction because you can put it over 1. Common denominator has to be 25, so multiply that by 25, multiply this by 25. So you got 81 minus 125 all over 25. Okay, so think about that. How much is that going to be? Well, you can bring up the calculator if you want. That's totally up to you. And let me just go here. Oh, right? Clear, second quit. There we go. There's my nice little calculator. And go 81 minus 125. And that's going to give you minus 44. Minus 44 over 25. So that's what's going to be replacing this mess here. So you got y equals to 9 over 25 x squared plus 54 over 25 x minus 44 over 25. Okay, that's the mess you've got. Oh boy, that's ugly with all the fractions. But now this is in standard form. But here's a couple things I want to show you which are really, really kind of interesting. Notice that this a right here, this a value has never, ever, even once changed ever since you determined the a value way over here. Isn't that interesting? So even if you're in vertex form, and let me clean this up a little bit so you can see some stuff here. Even if you're in vertex form, y equals to a x minus p squared plus q, and in standard form, ax squared plus bx plus c, these a's never change. That becomes really, really important when we start dealing with standard form and everything else later on. Extremely important.